Hello, one and all, adventurers, spacefarers, post-apocalyptic survivor people.
Trash goblins.
Trash goblins. I'm Caedo Genesis. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000, a Fallout and gaming-oriented podcast. Goes up bi-weekly, 10 a.m. Pacific, every other Sunday. I'm joined by my co-hosts, BADCOMPANYSARGE.
Hello.
And Jared of Jarred Gaming. He's back.
I live.
He lives, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're feeling better, bro.
Me too.
And we had a special guest last episode. It was kind of a serendipitous moment where like he was able to join us at the early frickin' time that we record normally. William Strife was on again. So that was a very special extra long episode where the lucky comment of the cast got to be talked about for like 15 straight minutes. And we talked about, what did we even talk about? Oh, we did another listicle from the gamer.
Yeah, an actually good one, which
an actually
Willie
decent
wasn't
one.
Too happy about.
Yeah, he
we
was a little
hyped up
upset.
how terrible all these lists are, and when we get one, it was like, yeah, this all makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the second one or something like that. That's actually like pretty good all the way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that. It was a fun time. Lots of audio editing happened. I keep touching my microphone like a dummy.
Like a podcaster. All podcasters touch their microphones constantly.
Just manhandling it the whole time. Then whoever's editing it is just like, oh, this freaking guy, I'm quitting.
Mm-hmm.
But the editor is me, so like it's just gonna be me telling myself that I'm quitting. Anyway, I'm gonna push it again. This episode for the third time is brought to you by Immersion. There is a merch line now for Immersion hoodies as well as stickers. Because it's an ongoing joke, Jared's fault. And I turn it into merch.
You were profiting off of my creativity.
I am profiting off of your creativity and your willingness to continue not letting me forget that I forget words all the time. So
I love it.
Check it out. It's just text. There's no like graphics or anything like that. It's just text. The PIPCAST 3000 brought to you by Immersion. But I like the design. It's very nice, and I'm probably gonna have one before the winter's out because I like staying warm and I like my hoodies. So I recommend it. So let's get into the comment of the cast. There's 3 options. Could I have you, Jared? Would you like to choose a comment? I know a couple of them are pretty wordy.
You're right. So let's go with the short one.
Okay.
From Craig Turner. The explosions on Fallout 4 bots, Sentry bots, always explode when they die, and the other bots only explode if they're legendary or you hack them and cause them to self-destruct.
Yes.
Objection.
Order.
This is now a Phoenix Wright game.
It is.
There's the eye bombs as well, although I believe they are limited to Automatron. But I just wanted to add that in as well.
Oh, they do exist in Fallout 4, don't they?
Yeah, because I've been doing my Power Armor series where I've specifically avoided doing the Automatron stuff, because while the Tester Armor's great, I don't want robots to just run over to me and explode on survival mode. That's...
Yeah, because you'll probably just die.
Yeah.
That's true. That makes sense. Very, very smart gamer, Sarge.
Oh, the smartest. I would never do something stupid.
Never.
Yep.
That comment was from Craig Turner. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for the comment. That was related to, the 10 things Fallout 4 does better than other open world games. And I think it was the enemy variety thing we were talking about. Robots, I think.
I mean, I feel like I'm always talking about robots, so could have been anything.
So it could have been.
I could have swore I thought you said brobots.
Robots.
And that's amazing.
Robots. Yeah, that's if that's not like an action figure or a Saturday morning cartoon
Dude,
at this point.
That
like,
is definitely a 90s action figure commercial. Get your brobots.
What is Nickelodeon doing with its life if that's not a thing already?
Robots is a TV series that's been running since 2018.
What? For real?
Yep.
Well, guess I'm gonna be paying for that one.
Was I also right? Was I right about Nickelodeon, or is it a different network?
No, it's... Oh, damn! It's from the UK! It's where I am!
What?
The IMDb page is real small. There's, like, no information.
So is it actually
it was a
Bruv bots then?
Yeah.
Nah, mate, it ain't bruv, it's bro. Apparently there's only 4 episodes as well, but it's claiming to still be ongoing. Very strange.
Huh.
I feel like
That's funny.
anyone could still make robots and probably not get sued.
Yeah. So, I wanted to mention the topic before we get into the news stuff. We're going to be going over the worst quest design, or our least favorite quests. Crap, I forgot to write down some like examples, so we're gonna have to think of them on the fly.
I
You've
already
been
know
playing a lot of
which one.
Fallout 4, Sarge. So, you already know one. Okay.
Is it just Fallout 4 or just Fallout in general?
Any of the Fallout
Okay.
games.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
I already know which one.
I mean, all Fallout
Okay.
quests are bad, so this will be easy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Obviously.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't need to write things down to think of them.
Do you even mod, bro?
No,
Fix it.
that's
Fix it.
why
It fixes
Oh.
everything.
Yeah,
it
that's
does.
it. I just need to mod out all the quests.
The no quest mod just eliminates all quests. You literally just walk around and do nothing. Oh, it's Fallout 76 before the Wastelanders update. Oh!
It's a sick burn. It's pretty accurate though. They existed, they just weren't, super duper exciting. Okay, well, yeah, so we'll go over worst quest design stuff, because we'd already done like 2 listicles from the gamer in a row, so I figure it's time to at least for me use my brain a little bit and think about things for myself.
And if you do have more than 2 listicles, you should probably see your doctor about that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. Let's start with the first thing, because we've had the Fallout 25th anniversary things kind of slowly trickling in, and it's still happening, by the way.
What? I thought we were done with it now.
Nope, we're not done with it.
Oh, I was gonna rag on you for getting all excited and hyped up for nothing actually happening, but something still could theoretically happen.
Something still possibly could. InXile's 20th anniversary happened. Which, if you don't know, InXile is headed by Brian Fargo, who is also part of the original Interplay team, and Black Isle in that kind of region of stuff. He was the founder and CEO, I believe, for that, and he's the founder and CEO of InXile as well. But more recently, since they were able to acquire the Wasteland IP in the early 2010s, I think, or 2020s, 2000s. Oh my goodness. Those are all numbers. Early 2000s. They did Wasteland 2, which did pretty well with the help of Kickstarter, and then Wasteland 3, which was, I would like to say, a little bit more successful and got more eyes on the franchise itself. And Wasteland is the predecessor to Fallout. So it was kind of like a comeback around kind of thing. So they got to talk about, like, I don't know, working at the studio and A Bard's Tale 4 and all kinds of other stuff that they did in this anniversary documentary thing. It's about 20 minutes long. I think it's worth it. Also, if you've played like the original Fallout games, you'll recognize Brian Fargo's voice immediately because he does voice some of the talking heads. He voices Gizmo in the first game, like the really
I can only imagine the voice of a gremlin right now. Or Mogwai, sorry. Gizmo's, of course, not actually a gremlin.
Oh,
just a boy.
yeah. No, Gizmo, the disgusting casino owner in Junktown. I can't remember the. I know he's voiced another character, but he was also like a joke character when Wasteland first happened, because the first Wasteland happened in like 1986 or something like that, like before I was
born.
Before anyone was born,
Hey,
me included. Were you born in 86, Jared?
maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm old. Leave me alone. Get off my
But
lawn.
his character was also a casino owner named Farron Brago, which is just Brian Fargo with the first few letters mixed, or first few letters switched. So I thought that was kind of cool. And he makes a return in Wasteland 3, of course, because he's kind of immortal, I guess. Because a lot of time passed between the first game and the third, kind of like Fallout. But I think it's still worth a watch. And like, if you want to learn a little bit more about the history of Fallout, I don't know if they get too far into the weeds about Fallout, because like they don't own the IP anymore, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're more about their own like struggles and dealing with, you know, bankruptcy, trying to survive from game to game. Here come the burps. But yeah, do recommend. Also, speaking of Fallout's history, guess who keeps coming out with retrospective still, even yesterday?
Is it
Who
me?
could it be?
Did I do it?
Yes, yeah.
25
Yesterday
year
being
retrospective. Here is Baby Sarge. That is for retrospective. It's obviously Bethesda.
Yeah. Only a couple days after last episode of the PIPCAST, there was a retrospective talking about Fallout New Vegas specifically. And the Obsidian devs that were involved, as well as Bethesda, were both like saying a couple of pieces about, you know, New Vegas and stuff like that. So that's linked here. But also, I think you should probably be following the Bethesda Studios channel, just because or Bethesda Softworks channel, just because there's still more stuff coming out in these retrospective short video things. So
I would also like to reiterate the point that I always bring up around this general subject of, hey, Obsidian and Bethesda actually get on alright. There's even the comments on this video are mostly, when New Vegas 2 or New Vegas Remaster? But there's one person who's saying, I love seeing Bethesda and Obsidian be so nice to each other. It really throws a wrench into the narrative that these guys hate each other for some reason.
That started a chain, dude.
Even though the studio heads have said nothing but nice things about each other over the years.
Yeah,
it's only got 74 replies, but I don't need to see what those replies are.
You don't need to see what those replies are, and that's the hook that we'll use to get people to go check that video out. Because the people will not let go of the they didn't make a bonus because they were 1 point off their Metascore. Like, they are so far past that, dude.
Yeah.
And it was a bonus. They got paid. They were happy with how they got paid. They've said that so many times. A bonus is a bonus. Like, if you've ever received a bonus, like an end of the year something or other, it's a bonus. It's not something that helps you subsist, hopefully. It's instead just additional extra pay. Like, that's all it is.
I mean, I've never received a bonus.
Yeah.
It's above the norm.
We all like money. And if you have money,
give it to us.
Buy my merch, Immersion, in the Teespring store, the Spring store now. It's not even called Teespring anymore. It's called Spring. Anyway, so I lost my segue that I was gonna use. Take it away, Sarge.
You know what else money is? Something that makes games. Here's an article about games. Fallout.
Well done.
That good, Caedo? Yeah, thanks, Jared. Thanks, man.
That's great. That was great, Sarge. You sound like me when I segue. So I think did you bring this up?
Did
Pretty sure you did. The Fallout 4 next gen thing coming out. Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it because it was like
yeah.
Yeah, Caedo, since the very start of the whole 25th anniversary celebration, has been going, they're building up to something, it's gonna be something big, there's gonna be a big announcement.
I didn't say it was gonna be something big, I said it was gonna be something.
You said it was gonna be the biggest thing ever, and we'd all look like idiots, because you were gonna be right, and we'd all be wrong. I remember.
Exaggeration.
That sounds like Caedo.
Yep.
Alright, Cyberpunk!
Yeah. There was an article posted with lots of just generic stuff about Fallout 25 as another part of this big 25-year anniversary celebration. And the thing which I saw most people getting excited about is Fallout 4 is going next gen. Prepare for the future. A next gen update is coming to Fallout 4 in 2023. This free update will be available for Xbox Series X/S, PlayStation 5, and Windows PC systems. Ta-da! There's going to be bug fixes, which is crazy, because that's genuinely something we don't normally see with just like a kind of next-gen update. So, be interesting to see what they fix bug-wise. I hope they fix the bug where I can't do the Minutemen quest anymore.
I was seeing that some like Creation Club stuff does like cause the game to crash. So
fun.
At least that's what some people were saying. I mean, internet people say things all the time.
Yeah.
I know, but
I found with crashes they happen very randomly.
Yeah.
And anyone who confidently is like, this is the reason why the game crashed, I immediately distrust at this point. Because I played Skyrim recently, and I kept crashing in the same spot like 2 times in a row, then I went back the 3rd time and it was all perfectly fine. And it was like, there was no like consistency or logic to why it crashed. It just crashed, because games crash. It happens.
Yeah, I saw that in your in your uniques only thing. Yeah, you lost a lot of progress.
Yep. It's fine. It was only half the recording. Something like that. No big deal.
That's crazy, because like my modded Skyrim with like 300 mods, it never crashes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
look
is
at you.
why you all have to mod your games, because it prevents crashing.
It fixes the whole game.
It fixes everything.
It runs better.
That's my next,
it pays you money to play it. It makes you immortal. It's great.
Whoa.
Solves all your problems in life.
Oh, I feel better already.
It gives you money every time you wake up in the morning.
Oh my gosh, passive income, the dream.
Yeah. Mods fix your game, mods fix your life. Boom.
New t-shirt.
Yep. It's gotta be a new t-shirt. I'll probably make a hat out of it too or something. So something I noticed about the Fallout 4 is going next gen thing is, some publishers are charging people for this crap.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Gearbox,
for example, was charging extra money for next gen versions of games. I think they started doing it with what was it, with Wonderlands?
No, they must have been doing it before Wonderlands, I feel like. But Wonderlands was definitely one they did it with. I'm currently in my head is like Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and I'm like, is that just a next gen kind of upgrade? Because technically it changed a few things about a bit. So, yeah.
I just have the bad taste in my mouth from the chaotic great edition or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing that Wonderlands did.
No, it's very cool to see that that Fallout 4 is going to get a free update to make it look better and stuff. Because I feel like every time I play, I complain a bit about like the render distance. Because as someone who enjoys playing as a sniper, I never use the long scope because it's pointless. Because you just zoom in far enough that the enemies don't show up because they're too far away.
Oh, it's like the classic. You remember in classic Skyrim where the arrows would just disappear?
Yeah,
They fixed that in Special Edition.
Yep. And hopefully they'll do a similar fix with Fallout 4. And I can actually be like a proper sniper. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I won't be within a mile of any enemy at any point.
Man, that must have been something that frustrated me a lot to remember that about vanilla Skyrim. Because, like, I only think back to Special Edition now. Like, there was no Skyrim before Special Edition, obviously. Not like, 5-ish years prior to it. Anyway, something that's not going to take 5 years, I hope. Atomic Heart, which is in Jared's wheelhouse a little bit.
Kinda. I mean,
A little spooky.
if it's a little spoopy.
It's a little spoopy. It's got robots. It's got lots of blood.
It's got a release date.
It's got a release date.
The most
Bets
important
now,
thing.
Yeah, will the release date remain the same?
I'm
That
betting no.
is the question. Okay, so this is published by Focus Home Entertainment, developed by Mundfish, and available February 21st, 2023, according to the trailer. But they packed, even though the trailer is like a minute and 17 minutes, they packed a lot in because a lot of it was fast forwarded. Like by design. So I think they want people to stop it frame by frame so they can see what the frick is going on, because otherwise you can't. It's just at that speed to where you're like, whoa, what is happening?
It looks pretty
What
cool.
what is the vibe of this? This looks like I don't even know, dude.
I kind of feel like it always felt like, at least previously in the older videos and stuff, like it was supposed to be kind of a sort of BioShock-esque shooter.
Yeah.
And I don't
Like
know
maybe-
I don't know if I can still say that, because the game has changed like a crazy amount, I think, compared to the original teaser trailers and stuff, because I feel like the original trailers portrayed this game as more of a horror survival game, and now it's looking more like a action shooter with some of those elements still in there. But
Like when I'm seeing it, I'm seeing a lot of Wolfenstein vibes, like a lot of similar like technology aesthetic almost, except for the synths. There are synths in this game.
yeah, there's a lot of robots, a lot of robots.
There's definitely quite a few horror elements in it all, though. So I feel like kind of a mix of all the games we've just mentioned really does describe it best. Because it has the big fast-paced action of something like Wolfenstein. It has like the BioShock, your left hand is your power, your right hand is your weapon kind of thing. And it also does have like some proper horror vibes to it. Like, one of the shots it slows down, well, kind of slows down, and there's just blood going across a wall or a floor.
Yep.
Like, they clearly want some creepiness to it.
Everybody loves blood on the floor.
Yeah. Where else are you going to store your blood?
Yeah. The floor, there's so much surface area on the floor. You just store it on the thing. Yeah, so it looks like something to keep an eye on if you're into that aesthetic type thing. It got my attention because Fallout has that, retro future kind of thing, and this has got some of that too.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on it. Also, if you're not tired of action, and also, even though like people were ripping apart the voice acted trailer for this game, so let me get this straight. It's Forspoken.
Yeah.
So they released a couple of gameplay trailers showing like this one is the magic combat, which looks a lot of fun. Looks like a lot of fun.
I will say the whole voice acting lines and stuff in this trailer are nowhere near as stupid as they were in the first.
I mean, it's narrated by someone else. So
I mean, just the actual writing as well isn't incredibly cringeworthy. It's just, I mean, it feels kind of normal, I guess. Which is not normally a compliment, but in this case, it's an improvement.
I like normal.
Yeah.
If I get like mundane, like, voice delivery and writing, but the gameplay is this good, like what we're seeing on screen, I'm into it. Okay, like I still go back to the original Devil May Cry once in a while. Like, you can't take the voice line seriously in that game. You just can't. And then once the sequel started coming out, Capcom was like, okay, we're gonna ham it up a little harder instead of going the other direction, which ended up, making Devil May Cry one of the most beloved franchises of all time. So, I'm not saying Forspoken's gonna do that, but I can hope that this is the Devil May Cry 1 of many other projects kind of like this, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you've linked the Magic trailer, and it looks cool. The ability system and all that seems pretty solid. I don't like the UI. I want to take a minor gripe, just because, like, the health bar and stuff is off at a weird skew.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've skewed it so much.
I just realized that.
Yeah, it's like not even just a small little skew to like put it off center. It feels like it's properly trying to get away from you almost. But combat itself seems really cool. It looks like there's a bunch of fun abilities. I wish I liked the art style of this game, I guess you'd call it. But I don't like how it looks. Just flat out don't
Are you
like
me?
anything about how it looks. Now, the animations I'm actually fine with, just literally the art style, it looks like it's trying to look real, but I find with so many things nowadays which are computer generated and try to look real, just look bad in my eyes. Because I know what the real world actually looks like, and it's nothing like this.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I guess one day,
Maybe. January
24th, 2023,
Oh, man.
we'll pick up the game and say, so let me get this straight. I'm a wizard. Or whatever.
I'm getting Horizon Zero Dawn vibes from this game, but with like magic instead of that game. Just like I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
To me, that's what came to
And
mind.
better
instantly.
dodging. Man, I hope it's got better dodging than Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Like, dodging is jank in those games.
Yeah. First like instinct is like, this isn't a game that I'm probably that interested in, honestly, unless it comes out and we see a bit more of it and it just looks super amazing. But just like first impressions, I'm just kind of like, they're not really doing anything new except with some graphical stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort of game where if it comes to like Game Pass or something, I'll definitely try it out.
Right.
But not gonna buy it, especially not at full price. If you too want to spend zero money on games, then you can, because Warhammer Vermintide 2 is free on Steam.
You set that up.
What? No, I don't think ahead.
Because you replied to yourself.
You're framing me.
Well done.
What is this game, Vermintide 2? What is this?
If only some of us had played it, we'd be able to talk about it somewhat.
Yeah. Very strange.
Well, on to the next topic. Vermintide 2 is basically Left 4 Dead in the Warhammer fantasy world, where you fight against like Skaven and Chaos instead of zombies. And yeah, it's a fun little co-op game. You run around, you kill stuff, you shout at people to get in the circle. Caedo, why aren't you in the circle? Get back in the circle. No, you can test out the spells in the mission. Just get in the circle, Caedo.
Or you shout at Sarge for being a martyr, even though he's not that far away, and it's totally no problem that he can get to the circle and survive.
I have to die. It's fine. Go on without me. I'm willing to make this sacrifice. Yeah. So, the three of us and Crazy Eyed Eddie, a while back, a couple of years back now, maybe, played.
I think it was last year. It was last year. Pretty sure.
Last year?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Let's pretend it was last year.
Don't check.
For Caedo's sake. So definitely last year, the four of us played through Vermintide 2 in fun little co-op campaign, where I got to nerd out about Warhammer and get made fun of for nerding out about Warhammer, which is arguably as fun as nerding out about Warhammer. Yeah, it's a very fun game, and until the 7th, so you don't have much time from when this comes out, the game is
You have a
free
day.
on Steam. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. This news came out on like Friday, and it's basically a free weekend, but you actually keep the game. And they're also doing more DLC for the game, which is crazy.
That's surprising,
how old
actually.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check, when did Vermintide 2 come out, because there's DLC coming out next year as well. The initial release date was 8th of March 2018. So that's like 5 years of DLC and updates, which is crazy. It also has a super high rating. Like on Google, it's got 4.5 stars, and it's almost entirely 5-star reviews. It's a 9 out of 10 on Steam, 93% like this video game, 4.3 out of 5 on Amazon. That's very high rated.
That's pretty good.
It's a solid game.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun.
Yeah.
You know, it does everything it sets out to do fairly well. You know, I don't think we had any problems with the game itself. I think I had problems with internet, but that's nothing new. And definitely not a failing of the game.
One time.
There was that one time.
Oh, when you fell through the ground.
when Sarge fell through the map.
I remember that. We tried so many different ways to find you and get you.
But I also broke the game by like overheating on a ledge.
I seem to remember that too.
Yeah, and then downed myself by like falling off a ledge at the same time.
Yeah.
But that was just me being stupid. So but there's another game in the genre coming out soon that's been an early access beta test.
I think it was
whatever. Warhammer Darktide, which is 40K.
Yep.
In the same vibe. So I may join some buddies on that, depending on how it is at proper launch, because they're doing that weird like open beta for 2 weeks before the launch thing, which at least Sarge and I have experienced before in 76. And
beta buddies.
Beta buddies. There's a highlights of that too on your channel.
Yeah.
So we have yet to see. But generally, if it's the quality of Vermintide, should be good.
Yeah.
It should be.
Get the old gang back together? Huh?
Yeah. We gotta figure out how we can get you and Eddie together on the same day.
I mean, I'm also not online 99% of the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making too many series, Sarge.
I mean, I'm only online for work these days. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Look at this nerd working online.
There's a cost of living crisis going on over here. I have to be sensible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the real world is impacting my game time.
Darn it.
Yep.
Stupid real world.
Everyone should go to Sarge's Patreon, sign up, and help him pay his bills.
Yep. For just $100 a month, I can stop having to work. So if you all just want to donate $100 and I'll stop making content, I'm okay with that.
Yep. I'll get on and do that right now, actually. Okay. Well, the real world sucks. So let's talk about somebody who's in the real world, who is Sarge's husband, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry and I go way back. We've had a solid marriage. He's struggling a bit at work right now, but it's understandable. He's got a lot on his plate. I'm there to support him, but there's only so much you can do.
So what's the bad news? Give us the bad news first, Sarge.
He's no longer gonna be Geralt.
After season 3.
Yes. So season 3 has been filmed, I believe, already. I think. Yeah, because season 2 has come out. They've already done filming for the Witcher Netflix show. Season 3 of that has been filmed. It's gonna come out sometime soonish, I imagine. And he's not sticking around for season 4. He is being replaced by Liam Hemsworth.
Yes.
Is that Thor?
Clone. No, that's Thor's brother.
No,
but not Loki.
So. That's
Man, this is confusing. It's a different Hemsworth. Yeah, it's a less popular Hemsworth.
Right, it's the Walmart Thor.
Oh my god.
That's a B-Tech Thor for any UK viewers.
Right. This is disappointing.
Yeah, the reaction has been like entirely negative towards Henry Cavill going and Liam Hemsworth joining, because
of course.
yeah, I mean Henry Cavill has done great in the role. He looks the part. He acts it well. I've not really got any complaints about him in the role at all.
I think
just switching out a different actor after
Yeah.
3 seasons.
I think why it stings a lot for some people too is because he worked so hard to get that role in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, he annoyed the execs so hard to be Geralt. But now, due to responsibilities likely elsewhere related to being a super guy, he, and also being, I think Eric was telling me yesterday that he's also filming, and they're filming Enola Holmes still.
Enola Holmes 3, I guess?
I guess.
Yeah,
But
because 2 came
he's
out. I
also
watched it last night.
Sherlock Holmes on that.
Yep.
So like he's at a full plate for
Yeah.
a while.
I mean, he's a very busy guy, and I also did link the other thing that's eating up a lot of his time, which is playing Total War Warhammer 3. Because, yeah, he's also been playing a decent bit of that, basically whenever he can.
What?
Yep. Because, I mean, hey, he could either stay on as The Witcher or play Total War Warhammer 3. I know what choice I'd make in that scenario. Yeah. The question was posed to him, like, how much of it are you playing? And are you playing, like, 4 hours a day? And he was like, maybe more?
Yeah.
Which is understandable. But, yeah. Ooh,
And I think anything with a strategy layer that deep, you're gonna be playing for a while.
I think that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about Cavill as Geralt as well, is not only did he try really hard to get that role, but he's just like legitimately a big nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I've actually just read on this, and it turns out he's in Total War Warhammer 2 and Total War Warhammer 3. There's a reference to him, which I hadn't
What?
picked up on now, but one of the characters is called Cavill.
Oh,
And the most embarrassing thing is my most recent campaign has been playing with that character. I didn't even think about it.
That's
Wow.
funny. Well, there were like some other like minor news things that I forgot to put down here. Like, one of the retrospectives was just a giant tease of like the director talking about Fallout, and in a jokey way being kind of nonchalant about like, I never heard of it kind of thing. And he gets handed a Nuka-Cola by somebody in power armor,
right. I remember seeing something about that.
which was pretty funny. And then crap, there was another thing that it's gone. Never mind. It's gone.
Oh, dear.
I didn't write it down. That's my fault.
That's why you write things down, man.
That's why I write things down. The thing I did write down though is our topic. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I would have forgotten that too. What is the worst quest design, least favorite quests, and why, when we go back, do we hate them? Bit of a negative topic. I made that like ultra negative, not intentionally, but I want to put like a positive spin, I guess, on it, being like how could they be improved along those lines? Because we've got experience with questing a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We've all wrote video game quests.
Yep, we all make video games, obviously. Yep. That's why we make a podcast talking about them all the time.
We are the 3 people who made New Vegas. That's
Yes.
the truth, and no one can disprove that.
Yep. New Vegas gave me my livelihood. I mean, that's not a lie to start with anyway. And then it was Skyrim.
It's always Skyrim in the end.
I worked on New Vegas and Skyrim, obviously. Why don't we start? What is in your opinion, since you both seem to have one ready and I don't, a bad quest in Fallout?
Super easy. The Temple of Trials from Fallout 2.
Is that a quest, or is that just the tutorial level?
The tutorial quest is still a quest.
Okay. The quest is to get your musty, gross, smelly vault suit.
Yeah. If anything, I'd say it's twice as worse, because it's a quest you have to do.
All
A
right.
lot of bad quests you can avoid. If you want to play Fallout 2, you have to go through the Temple of Trials. You have to deal with that. It's a quest that suits, like, only really one major type of build particularly well. So you can either be a melee character or hope and pray. That's it. Those are your two options. And that's not a quest. A good quest allows you to approach it in different ways and doesn't rely on you having a one very specific build. The Temple of Trials is a one approach, one build situation, and it's unavoidable. Worst quest in all of Fallout.
Wow. All of Fallout.
I mean, I figured I'd have to go in strong so that you two can disagree and put your ones up.
I mean, if I was thinking more clearly, that's something it feels like I may have said.
Yeah. I'm honestly glad I was able to jump in.
I made a video on it easier to make it easier for people.
Yeah.
So now it's no problem. Just watch my guide on the tutorial. My tutorial on the tutorial. It's super great. It's no problem. You can make it through in 2 minutes once you get the hang of it.
Yeah. All right, Jared. What do you have lined up?
Well, so I guess it still works, but like I didn't realize that it's like the part where you say like when we go back to it, why we still hate it, because technically when we go back to it now, most of the time it's no longer that way because of a DLC. But the last quest in Fallout 3 where you die,
like pre-broken steel.
yeah, pre-broken steel. I don't know I can't remember the name of the quest.
It's like the Waters of Life, I think. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Like, come on. Like, yeah, it's fixed now, more or less, unless you still play the original un-DLC'd version of Fallout 3, but like, that is...
I mean, that's why Broken Steel probably existed. That's a large reason why.
Exactly.
Yeah. A quest so bad they had to fix it with DLC.
With post-game content.
Then, you still kind of get picked on in the ending.
Oh, yeah.
It's still like, oh man, you made a terrible choice. Also, you're alive and everything's fine.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, to me, that one just... It'll always stand out.
I feel like the entire quest as well, for like the climax of the game, there's not much to it.
Yeah.
It's... You kind of fight some Enclave soldiers, and then that's it. I was going to say a second thing, but that's basically it.
It's quite abrupt.
Yeah.
And way too quick. Like, there's no build-up, there's no drama, there's no... You know, this is the last stand, the last push, sort of a feeling. It's just like you said, you fight a bunch of dudes, and then you die, or you die, or whatever.
You're just talking about once you make it to the thing, because like the whole like Liberty Prime segment that was a spectacle and a half, especially when it came out. Is that a
part of the quest?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was before that.
I mean, it's you have to make it to. Like that's the whole thing. Like you start in the Citadel, and they're just like, okay, we're making our final push to what's the name of the thing? Project Purity. And then you're falling behind Liberty Prime, and he's just blowing Enclave up left and right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. I honestly I forgot about that too. I thought it was at a different part too, But
then by the time you get to Project Purity, it's just you and probably like Sarah Lyons, and you run into Colonel Autumn, who is not a boss fight at all.
No.
Yeah. I would like to clarify one thing. Waters of Life is the earlier quest where you go to Project Purity. Take It Back is the quest we're talking about.
Take It Back. Thank you, Sarge. I appreciate you making sure we're definitely consistent and never wrong.
Well, I just had to confirm as well that it does have the Liberty Prime bit, which, to be fair, is good.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's fun, but yeah, it has a good start to the quest, but then the ending is
worst quest design.
Worst quest design. Just the last part of it.
Anticlimactic should never be the final quest of anything.
If they'd let you be a dirtbag in vanilla, like I think that would have been fine. Be a dirtbag. When I say that, I mean like getting one of your companions to like flip the switch instead.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because it could have been you, it could have been Sarah Lyons, it could have been Sergeant RL3, it could have been Fox It could have been Charon, like, or Charon, whatever, however you say it. Like three of your companions out of how many? Like 6?
Yeah.
Or something like that? 6 or 7?
Yeah.
So almost half of your companions can go into Project Purity and be fine. And the game's like,
Nope.
no, the theme is sacrifice, you die.
Oh.
Just like dear old daddy.
Oh. Yep. Exactly. And that is why I chose that.
Yeah, we're also like, we're rehashing, like, you know, the community when that game came out. So and they did, you know, come out with Broken Steel, and that kind of
gives it a much better ending to the
like,
game overall.
overwrote that a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking about the majority of escort missions for Fallout games are garbage.
Yeah.
But that's just escort missions by design.
Mm-hmm.
Often, like, I keep going back to like Kingdoms of Amalur because they did escort missions pretty dang well for some of them.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember if there were like a couple of targets that could actually die, right?
Maybe?
'Cause I know
think
there's-
the main thing for escort missions is make it so that the person you're escorting is somewhat unkillable. 'Cause
Yeah.
even though it's not realistic, and like 99% of the time I'm like, everyone should be able to be killed. For escort missions, I'm like, no, I don't want the AI to get dumb, get stuck in a one-on-one fight, refuse to move them, and get shot 20 times. Which is what happens otherwise.
Yeah. Because it's like the we're gonna go like into a different game entirely for a second. The first Warsworn quest that you're sent on, right?
Mhm.
With the he's like a lieutenant or a general or whatever. But he's a trainer dude, basically. But he is scripted to die at the end of the escort mission, so it really doesn't matter what you do. But
Yeah.
also during that time, you're not managing his health. You're just going along with him. And when you run, he runs. Like, he completely keeps pace with you too. That's something Amalur does, you know, fairly well. So like a lot of the things that would make escort missions frustrating, like you're not hauling somebody by the hand, like showing them where to go and stuff like that. You're actually following someone and being a part of their like escort, and you're the last surviving one because the rest of the people like going along with you are dying left and right. It's really cool. So it still adds some stress to the situation without being like, my target keeps dying.
I mean, the last Fallout escort mission I remember doing was a recent one, because it's Fallout 4 helping the Brotherhood of Steel Scribes. Is like a Radiant kind of quest you can do.
Oh, yeah.
You go talk to the scribe, then you're supposed to take them to a place. On survival mode, that doesn't happen.
No.
That just doesn't happen. They
Nope.
die. They're quite squishy. They do not know how to stealth at all, and they'll just follow you around. On the bright side, when they die and you go back and tell, is it Proctor Tegan? I think it might be Proctor Tegan you talk to. Maybe. But anyway, you go back and talk to one of the Brotherhood people, and they're like, oh, the scribe died. Well, that's a good death for them. Here's some rewards. You still get rewarded for it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Because I was feeling quite bad about that escort mission until it was just like, oh, they died and I still get the rewards? Well, this is easy.
So, I don't know, maybe they got a little better. I mean, I guess that was a solution, Fallout 4, to make them like a little better, like make it kind of worth your time. Because yeah, thinking about like the the sticky quests in Fallout 3. You remember that one? When
You're gonna have to describe it.
Sticky, when you arrive in Lamplight, Sticky just had his 18th birthday.
Oh, you think I do quests in Little Lamplight?
So
No.
Sticky's the one
No.
adult man there because he just turned 18
Hey,
when you arrive.
Look, I'm in my mid to late 20s now. 18's a kid as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Well, anyway, Sticky's birthday happens. They're like, "Happy birthday, Sticky! You have to leave." So you have to take him to Big Town. Well, sorry, you don't have to, but you can. And he tells stories. He will not shut his mouth when he's following you. He barely is able to defend himself. And he's got a dumb birthday hat too, which is great. Just the icing on the cake, as it were. So I think this kind of makes it, for the first time, fairly entertaining, because it's a super annoying dude. You got to get him to Big Town, and then you have Big Town on your map too. But you can just shoot him. And the game continues on.
Yes.
Because he has like a Radiant like storytelling style too. He's like, once upon a time there was a robot, and then it goes into the next, it rolls for the next whatever line.
Procedural almost.
Yeah, almost, yeah. I think I have a love-hate with that one.
Yeah.
The one I do hate though is one that's required. It's someone with an even more annoying voice that I can't shoot and kill.
I have a feeling. Is it one of your favorite NPCs of all time, Caedo?
You know it. You know it. What's her name? What's her name, Sarge?
Dr. Lee.
Yep. How did you know?
Oh, you hate
It's
her
not
so
like-
much.
It's not like I complain about her all the time.
You're
whenever-
also the only person I know who actively hates Dr. Lee.
Dude,
What did she do to you, man?
I'm just mad that she got used again in Fallout 4. Like, she was already unlikable. They just, let's just flesh out that unlikability and put her in the Institute. Why not? Let's do that. No! Oh yeah, you could bring her on to the Brotherhood of Steel so she can annoy you there too. Nice. Good. They ask you to do that. And then I think you do have the option to be like, no, it's impossible. Like intentionally failing on bringing her on, and somebody else takes her place instead. I think so anyway. But escorting Dr. Lee, like the first attack on Project Purity, I'm having a hard time immersioning today. Her and the other scientists, right? Like you have to escort them through the Taft tunnels and then get to the Citadel. And she becomes like the leader of the group, except she's following you. I think that's part of what bothers me the most. Is like she's like, oh, you have to do as I say. You take us to safety, and you're just like, I'm sorry, what? Take yourself to safety, you dingus.
I mean, none of them are fighters, really. That's
Yeah.
why they need you.
I don't care.
Caedo, do you just hate scientists?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Caedo, is the Earth round or is it flat?
Oh no.
Admit it now.
You know, when Ero Iluvatar made the Earth, it was actually flat, but when Numenor sunk under the sea, that made the Earth round. So, yeah.
True words, true words.
Yeah.
And when Sigmar was on the scene, well, everything changed.
Sigmar!
I was there for that. I like the idea that you can, like, halfway through, I think it was the engineer, he's like got like a heart condition, and Dr. Lee's like, you gotta do something. You're just like, here's some buff out.
Yep. You can, like, actually help him, give him drugs, or be like, nah, he can just die.
Yeah, or he could just die. You can convince him to leave him behind.
Yep.
That's like the one part that I'm just like, yes, like, do that. But can I do it for all of them? Like, make it, since there's 4 of them, make it 4 rooms, and like each room is each one's chance to die. Like, that would be cool. That would be a cool spin. Like, you could make it to the Citadel alone and still be fine.
I like the idea of you just showing up to the Citadel and saying, there were 4 scientists with me, they're dead now, can I come in?
Or like like you're carrying one of them by the hand, but then by the time you emerge, it's just their hand.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a Fallout thing. That'll be a Fallout.
Yeah. I hate to keep ragging on Fallout 3 because I actually really like it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I just want to add as well that I really don't like the first quest, the initial quest of Fallout 3.
Oh,
The prologue?
I'm going for a tutorial one again, essentially, so I don't know if you'll let me have this, Caedo.
The vault. Yeah.
But yeah, the entire initial vault section I do not enjoy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of fun for some people the first time. I hated it every time.
I think it's a lot more after the first time, because like even when I was testing yesterday, like the birthday,
Yep.
you have to sit there and wait. You have to. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's freaking speed up. And I actually did increase the speed of the game. I did SGTM too, so everything and everybody was talking twice as fast.
I get that, because otherwise you're basically spending like about half an hour on character creation and the vault section before you start playing the game and get any real freedom.
You know, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I guarantee you there's a mod that lets you skip that entire first part. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just gonna say right there.
Well, there's also the system save at the vault entrance. Like once you do the vault run that you want, like maybe ensure that Butch is alive if you want his toothpick. Then you're good. Like you can just start your game there because you could remake your character.
I will say with that one though, the difference between that and like Fallout 4, with Fallout 4 and the kind of exit save bit before you leave the vault, you've basically done nothing inside the vault. There's no big changes. But in Fallout 3, some of the stuff actually does matter, which normally is great. But in this instance is like, well, I feel like I have to play it because some of the stuff matters, but I don't want to play it.
It is only like a couple of things though. It's like whether or not the Overseer dies and whether or not Butch dies. I think those are like the only two like major things.
Yeah.
Because even if Butch's mom doesn't die, she still ends up dying in Trouble on the Home Front. So, like, they just trim that loose end, like, when you come back.
I want to step away from Fallout 3 now, because I want to say again before we do, I really like Fallout 3. It's a great game that does so much stuff very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just got a few bad quests in it.
It does.
But overall, it's a very good game. I think Fallout 3 does, and I'm going to use the word best here. That's right, I'm going for the opposite superlative. I think Fallout 3 is the best for RNG in the entire franchise. It does its randomness very well.
I tend to agree, because that was like the only, not the only, but like the Fallout game where it felt like random encounters were truly random.
Yeah.
Whereas it seemed like in Fallout 4 it was more focused on like the faction war more so, or factions warring, and left a little less room for encounters. Also, the city is incredibly dense and it's hard to find some of the encounters when they're happening, because it could be like a street over and you're just like, well, I'm just gonna tool around over here instead. But you don't know there's a big old building in your way.
I'm gonna go on to another bad quest. Man, it's gonna be an entire quest.
New Vegas,
maybe. No, I'm going for everyone's actual favorite game, Fallout 76.
Oh,
because Jared actually brought it up earlier, but like finding the Overseer, like actually finding the Overseer, the whole quest to just find her holotapes.
Oh yeah, screw that,
to the silos. Yeah. It's a real boring quest.
It's bad.
And like, obviously part of it is you're not interacting with NPCs and stuff, because it was the initial main quest for the game, and it just does kind of lead you to places. And while at some of the places there's some interesting lore and all of that, and when you get to actually finding out about the Scorch Beast, that's fun. But so many parts of either that quest or those quests, I can't remember if it's one entire thing or if it's split into multiple, but so many parts of it are, hey, go to this pretty innocuous location that the Overseer just happened to go to, and then get told to go somewhere else. There's way too much of that.
Yeah.
And it's real disappointing. And before the Overseer was added into the game as well, you were just left with, Scorchbeast Queen exists, go fight it. And you probably had already fought it by then, because it's a public event.
Yeah.
So, like, the end content of that whole quest line, the whole end reward of being like, yeah, now you get to fight the Scorchbeast Queen, you've already done because it's an online game.
Yep.
I definitely feel like storytelling through the medium of holotapes, letters, books, audio recordings, phonographs, like all these like methods of telling a story through those. I'm so sick of that as a storytelling method.
I think it's one that's very, very difficult to do well. Because I can think of, like, a couple of good examples from 76, in fact. There's one in... I can't remember the name of it, but it's, like, the initial kind of village town area you go to, where there's holotapes that a kid left when they were, like, just at the start of things, when they're a small child, and then when they've grown up and are leaving the place. And you do kind of get to see their journey from a scared kid who'd lost their family and stuff, to someone who's gonna go out and try their best in the world. And it's a nice little neat story. It's very compact, but it gets you on this emotional journey. There's another one in... Is it the Maya? I think it's in the Maya, where you, like, fall down this hole, and there's, like, some little journals that someone's been writing, where it's talking about how they fell down a hole and someone else fell down as well, and then a third person falls down, and we're all, like, trapped in there. And they're like, oh, the other guy's saying we might have to do something drastic to survive or whatever, and it kind of hints at, oh, they're gonna, like, start eating each other to survive. And then when you're done reading the final note, that kind of heavily implies that, yeah, this person's gone mad and they're just trying to eat us to make their own survival, you turn around and a Wendigo has shown up and is trying to kill you. And that is, like, really well done. And some of the key parts, again, is that the notes are pretty concise. They deliver the information, they give you a bit of emotion in it, but they don't go on. So much of a problem with notes and holotapes and all of that stuff is they just go on and on and on, and you just tune out because you don't care that much.
Totally agree.
Yeah, it's better, and I think like Borderlands kind of strikes that balance a little bit. Also, just like Borderlands 2 as the best possible example, obviously, is like it's in small segments. If it's a lengthy kind of thing, like building up Handsome Jack, for example, like he has moments, but he doesn't linger for too long before the next one. And I think it's important to either break it up like that, so like the player can run into it or whatever, or just do like a single really short, story thing.
I think my favorite, like, holotape audio tape thing from the Borderlands franchise, it's technically a two-parter. I want to say it's like TK Baja's wife or something. First one of the pair is like talking about, I've got a wife and we're settling down, it's all nice. And the next one
my wife died.
Yep, and that's it. That's the entire tape, and it's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's just so good.
Man, it's so good.
And it
so
conveys
good.
everything so well because it's concise. He's not like, oh, a terrible thing happened last night. I won't ever manage again. This horrible thing. It's just like, wife's dead. It's comedic, but it shows the grief, shows how much it hit. But he's gone from being so happy and so eloquent to just boom. That's it.
You got to strike a balance too, because like the lore nerds, especially like the Elder Scrolls lore nerds, like they really like their books, right? But it's difficult in Fallout because everything is a holotape.
I mean, you get terminal entries.
Sorry, a lot of things are holotapes or or terminal entries. So I don't know.
Well, I even feel like books are okay because they're books.
Since all the books are fried, like
I feel like with terminal entries, that's where to go for like heavy long lore.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you see, there's a ton of entries, you can just back out and not worry about it as a standard player. But the lore nerds are gonna read up on it. There's people who read like the lessons of Vivek and stuff. These people are insane. Of course, they're happy to read for hours and hours for stuff that nobody else wants to.
Yeah. I thought about the cryptid audio books too. Are they audio books? Pretty sure. No, the books and the holotapes are separate, I think. But there's holotapes for like the stories of each cryptid in the West Virginia wastes. The what's the frickin', my brain is not working today. Appalachia. Thank you. The immersion in Appalachia.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so being in the right headspace for that, and like wanting to set the tone, especially because like the cryptid stuff is pretty dang creepy. When you're in the headspace for it, yes, it is effective. But again, like a lot of the time, you're still also paying attention to what you're doing around the world, and you can't pay complete full attention to, you know, the thing that you're listening to at the same time. So I think it is a better route to go with like shorter or multiples that are short, to get the point across. But if you can make some valuable information short and concise, that's just a sign of decent writing too. So because you're conveying exactly what the player needs to know, and that's it.
If I had more time, I'd have wrote a shorter letter.
Yeah.
I feel like the two games we haven't really ragged on too much for bad quest design are Fallout 1 and Fallout New Vegas. I feel like we've not touched on that. Oh,
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. The whole thing.
Okay, just the whole thing. I mean, technically we've not done Tactics and Shelter as well. But...
Moving on.
Yeah. Tactics probably has something bad in it. And Shelter, I mean... I don't know if Shelter necessarily has bad quests, because it doesn't have many quests, and we're all kind of just whatever.
Nah.
Although there is a good one, which is like, whenever they do like a quiz one in Shelter. That's kind of fun. But, I mean, Caedo, you're probably going to be the best to speak on Fallout 1.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
What's the worst quest in original
Oh,
Fallout?
jeez, man. So Fallout 1 is probably the most linear Fallout game, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe Fallout Tactics. Like they're kind of almost neck and neck there. Well, Tactics is more linear because the missions are like, you know, complete the mission and you don't really have anything to do when you go back. Man, Fallout 1, like, it's so well contained as a game, but as a result, there's not as many quests either.
Okay.
And the ones that I think of are like a lot of like crucial ones almost. Like the Brotherhood of Steel, go to the glow thing, like that's a crucial thing for like getting gear upgrades. Like during any playthrough that I do, I'm just like, well, gotta meet the Brotherhood of Steel, gotta talk to the dude at the door. He'll be like, go get killed at the glow and we'll let you in.
Okay. Is that like a bad replayability one then?
Not really, because you get something out of it each time. Like, because when you go to the glow, that's also where I believe where FEV was being researched or something. So there's actually, speaking of lore, you can learn stuff there from the mainframe and play chess with him, and also get access to the lower levels and get even better gear. So like there's a lot of stuff there, because the Brotherhood soldier that you're looking for, or the patrol that you're looking for, is on the very first level. Like you walk into the glow, you get the holotape, and you leave. Like that, you can make that a really quick trip as long as you have the Rad-X, because otherwise you'll probably die on your way out. But the rest of it is totally optional and rewarding towards the end.
Right. This kind of sounds like you're talking about a good quest, Caedo.
Yeah, you were asking me a question about it.
Yeah, but you started talking about it, and I thought, well, why is it bad? That's why I asked the question.
I wasn't saying because it's bad. I was extending my comment about, like, I can't really think of any because a lot of it is linear and necessary.
What about like the first quest where isn't the first quest like repair the water generator?
Repair the water chip?
Yeah.
I mean,
because if you don't do it, then you just fail the game. Like, that's kind of bullcrap. I'm trying to help here, man.
Kind of with Jared on this.
It is helpful. Okay, so 150-day mission timer, because of like where the game kind of leads you, is not as bad as it seems. It just builds urgency. But if you are just running around the map grinding, yeah, that's probably going to become a problem. Or if you're reading a lot of books in the game before you get the water chip, yeah, you're probably going to have an issue too.
don't really know what you're doing in the game and aren't someone who plays Fallout for a living
Yeah.
and doesn't have all that extra knowledge, it can be pretty intense to have that timer, not know exactly what you need to do for it, and just have to kind of trial and error your way through.
Yeah. I feel like I have a bit more trust for the game design in Fallout 1, though, just because of how, like, again, the linearity of the story itself, it leads you to each place. Fallout 2 does that a little bit too, but in Fallout 1, it's a lot more rigid. They're just like, you go to Junktown, you go to Shady Sands. They're like, oh, you should check out Junktown in the hub. Those will lead you to the not the underworld. The Ghoul Town. Necropolis.
Oh.
Necronomicon.
I was also thinking Necronomicon, which is why I wasn't helping.
Yeah. And when you go to the hub, you can ask people about a water chip, and when people are like, oh, you can check out the water merchants, those water merchants can extend your timer in case you're starting to run out of time by transporting water over to the vault and teasing you that there is a second timer that the super mutants will attack, but they won't because that got patched out super early. And then they're just like, oh, you should check out the ghouls, see what they're doing. Depending on when you go, they could either be completely wiped out or still alive and helpful. But if they're completely wiped out, then it becomes a lot easier to go through there anyway. Necropolis, that is. Once you have the water chip, like that's the halfway point of the game basically, and then you have to deal with the master and the lieutenant, which, you know, then you don't really have a game timer at that point. So
I feel like what this has revealed to me more than anything is that we play games very differently. Because you're told, hey, here's somewhere interesting, and go and check it out. And I go, I wonder what's over there, and just bugger off somewhere else entirely.
yeah, okay, so the urgency of finding Sean and the urgency of finding the water chip are a little different.
Oh no, because I'm thinking about when I've played Fallout 1 as well. Like, I'll go to Shady Scans, I'll do like the Rad Scorpion thing, and then I'm like, I wonder what's in this direction. And I just start wondering.
Maybe I'm putting too much trust in players talking to NPCs like they would in a JRPG, but
it's clearly one of, like, depending on the type of player you are, it's either fine or a problem.
Yeah.
And for the Caedo type of player who listens to the game, not an issue.
Yeah, okay, so 12-year-old Caedo would do the complete opposite. He would do the thing that you're talking about, Sarge. He'd be like, "Oh, what's over here? I don't need to worry about the timer. It's fine. I don't need to read." That was my main thing when I was younger playing games too. Like, didn't read anything.
Kind of sucks when there's very few like voice acted characters.
And then my best bud with Jared, who Jared also knows. I'd be like, "What do I do now?" And he's like, "Why didn't you read?"
Come on, man.
And I'm like, I just want to play, man. Come on, tell me what to do. And he would just give me crap all the time.
Like, you need to go play. You need to go play Halo, dude. If you just want to like not think about what you're doing.
Yeah,
And
I mean that was before Halo came out.
Was that before?
I think so.
I mean, I know the game was, but like by the time you were playing it, I don't know. What year was that? Do we even want to go down that rabbit hole, dating ourselves?
I would date myself.
I would date myself too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't date me. I know what
a handsome lad.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Okay, so Fallout New Vegas. Let's complain about the quests in Fallout New Vegas and why some of them were bad.
I don't remember New Vegas that much.
I did a little bit of Googling, and a lot of people say "Come fly with me" as a quest they think is bad.
I can relate. Yeah, actually. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I said in like we were talking about in the beginning of the topic, least favorite quests, why when we go back do we hate them? Like, Come Fly With Me is one of those for me, because it's such a slog to get through the Repcon facility, get the materials, depending on what you're doing, to like help fix things or ruin everything. Like, it's just generally a pain. and that's like the only way to get or one of the few ways to get the help from Boone or Manny. I don't remember who.
I mean, you can skip so much
To get the
of
clue. You can skip a lot of it, but also realize that probably the most crafting materials in one place, aside from like Nellis Air Force Base, is inside of Repcon. Because that one little drop down area where the leader of the
Nightkin?
Thank you.
It sounds like Caedo's just left for a real dramatic about that.
I like that. That's a good effect you got there.
This is face planting on my desk. Please buy my merch so I don't have to forget all the time. It'll give me brain cells back. I'll be able to purchase some. Yeah, so that one is tedious and annoying, especially. I mean, the Nightkin probably are part of it, but you also got to deal with the ghouls in the upper floor, and talk to Jason. He's like, "Oh, there's demons," and you're like, "Okay," and then you go downstairs, and then Davison's like, "Oh, we want stealth boys," and then you got to go find out about the stealth boys, like if you're doing it the proper way, quote unquote, right? And then the ghoul that's locked in the room is like, "Ugh, I'm gonna shoot you if you come in here. You do me a favor. There's a girl that I'm looking for." And then all right. And then you go to another room in the the area with the Nightkin, and you find her corpse, and you go back to the guy. Yeah, that's tedious. There's so much to that.
I feel like this is once again a case of Caedo does what people tell him to do in games. I just shoot them. Quests are super easy, Caedo. You just shoot the people and then you go.
And you're completely free to do that. But those of us who like doing, all of the aspects of the quests and like having the fun dialogue and stuff like that, it does get tedious. And like by the time you clear out the area, like you're still not done. So yeah, I fully agree with that. Sarge doesn't. He shoots everyone.
The main thing I like about it is it does have the options to complete in several different ways or bypass entirely.
Yeah.
Which is like a huge... I can't say any more words on the podcast I was going to say that. Huge good thing for quests, in my opinion.
A huge boon. A huge Craig boon.
It's a huge boon. I was actually going to say as a proper kind of bad quest, in my opinion, in New Vegas, is a lot of like dealing with the casinos I don't enjoy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Especially like Omertas and stuff. I feel like I've done those quests once or twice and have no intention of doing them again.
I just always get lost in the Gomorrah, no matter what. I always get lost. Because the layout of that place is god awful. My first playthrough or my 50th or my 500th, like I will always get lost in there. I don't like that casino. The casinos as a whole, and I know it had to do with development time too, like a lot of them are also have a lot of space that's not used.
Yeah.
And that probably could have come down to like hardware expectations too, which is, that's the reason why they split up the strip. So you've just triggered it in my mind as well. Basically every Legion quest except for assassinating. Can I just do that for worst quest ever? Because the Legion sucks. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Most of the time they're worse versions of the other quests, and then their like specific unique stuff is boring. Like the Legion just sucks in general. I did one playthrough of them for a live stream, and I'm never playing as the Legion again. Yeah,
the only thing I try to get up to is like the Legion supply boxes, because they have so much good stuff in them. Like I'm pretty sure they supply you with 40 mil grenades too, like a big stack of them. And I love my Thump. I love Mercy, so that's my dream right there. Something I'm surprised you didn't mention, which may mean you probably blocked it out, was Bleed Me Dry.
That's not ringing any bells. I may have suppressed it.
That is Red Lucy's quest for the Thorn, to collect eggs from every difficult and scary creature in the Wasteland.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really bother with that.
And why is that, Sarge?
I mean, it's one of those quests I'd pick up, then just continue playing the game and plan on doing it passively, and then it just doesn't happen, so I never turn it in. Yeah. I like the idea of the Thorn, but that's where it ends.
Yeah. So that one, if you want one of the best shotguns in the game, you have to do it, which sucks. Really sucks. Because you have to get the eggs of Death Claws and Cazadors and Mantis eggs, Rad Scorpion eggs, Night Stalker eggs. Yeah, so it's a chain of Fire Gecko eggs. So it's a chain of like 6 quests. Just to go put your life at risk, grab some eggs, and come back in some of the most dangerous parts of the Mojave. So it's a fetch quest with more death. when I just thought about that mission, when I was kind of running through like the different missions of New Vegas, like that one kind of stuck out. Be like, yeah, if you want the dinner bell, man, that sucks. Never excited for that one.
What about like quests that have you going back and forth, talking to a bunch of different NPCs, just back and forth, like that kind of thing? Like the couple in the boomer base.
That little romance.
Oh yeah.
Like any quest though, like any quest that has that much like just back and forth, and it's just like, why am I doing this? And then I'm pretty sure you don't get anything good out of it either. You just help them or not.
You get boomer rep. That's one of the boomer rep ones.
Boomer rep, okay.
But there's other better boomer rep quests you can do instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is an annoying one. The main example I can think of with that is Skyrim, because I've been doing Skyrim Survival, where you don't have fast travel. And if you think the peace talks suck normally, wait until you have to ride from the top of High Hrothgar to the closest carriage, to then hop to like Solitude and Windhelm, to then ride back to High Hrothgar.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Any quest which is just hopping between places becomes so much worse without fast travel.
Oh boy.
Like, I can imagine. Just take your horse everywhere, Sarge. It's easy.
I did. And in that run, my horse was fine, because it didn't jump like an idiot.
If you just get the dwarven horse, you won't have to worry about it dying, Sarge.
No. Okay, worst quest in any game ever, dwarven horse quest. That one sucks. I'm never doing it. I got like halfway through it, and I was like, I've been at this for like an hour. I'm bored. I hate this. I'm leaving and never coming back.
Sarge, it's not that bad. Just watch my little short guide on it. It's so easy.
Wait, your little short guide. We're checking right now how long that guide is.
It's in my list of 10 cool things in Anniversary Edition. It's a very short. It's a short segment. It's quick and
Google
easy.
Doesn't bring it up. There's other people who have beat you to the search terms. So...
Wow. Of course.
Okay, actually, no, it does bring it up. But you're quite low down. It's a 20-minute video. Sure, you cover 9 other things, but I'm going to assume that 18 minutes of it is dealing with that stupid horse.
Wow.
Dang.
I hate the horse so much.
18
so
minutes.
much.
Yeah, it's just a guise for the dwarven horse. The rest of the list is doesn't matter. Does anything else come to mind for New Vegas?
I'm just in a blind fury now.
The stuff in the Aerotech office park always seemed like non-quests to me. Same with like West Side.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like because they're
all
more
of West
outside of
Side's a bit
Vegas.
disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of pushed us towards New Vegas as like, oh, we should talk about this because otherwise everyone's going to be like,
I was
yeah,
too.
New Vegas is the best, but I feel like we've come up with more for New Vegas than any other game.
We're trying to balance the scales right now.
Yeah.
Because I know you listening, you New Vegas fanboys, hey, hi. We know it's a good game. We want to tell you why it's not good.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like little table scraps of not goodness in New Vegas.
No game is better.
Hey, New Vegas 2? New Vegas 2? Okay, we got their attention again.
And they're back.
Perfect game which will solve all problems in the world.
Video retention skyrockets.
Everything will be perfect. No other game will have to release ever.
Wow. Can't wait.
Okay.
Do we have any more worse quests that anyone's thinking of for Fallout? Or is it time to move on and wrap things up?
Fallout 4, there's gotta be some more in Fallout 4. There's gotta be.
Sure there is. Sure.
I feel like Fallout 4 doesn't do that many, like, bad quests. It's more just a lot of Radiant quests which get tiresome after a while.
Preston Garvey is a bad quest.
We can definitely add that to the list. Radiant quests in general.
Our poor man Preston. This poor fella.
I will say, I actually quite like Radiant quests in moderation. I feel like it's very good to keep being able to do like this odd thing here and there, just to, like,
I think so
into
too.
Places.
If it's like scattered about,
relies on them. Yeah.
Like I don't mind finding Radiant quests at random, you know, because it makes it feel more like, oh, I'm exploring this world, and oh, I found this dungeon that I'm going to go into or something. But like getting specifically called or talked to every time you see this person just to tell you, and you're just like, oh, you got something to say to me? Oh, it's just another more of the same. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I do think Preston Garvey is the prime example as well, because when you turn in the quest with him, he says thanks, and then his next line is starting the next quest. Like, you don't even get a choice in it. If you're gonna turn in the quest, you're getting a new one.
Like it's he's got a list in his pocket where like he's ready by the time you get there.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, Jamaica Plain, let's go. Is that a settlement? I don't remember.
If I made a plane, I could travel the Commonwealth a lot faster. It'd be easier to get those radio quests done.
I think that would extend to like any of the quests that involve helping settlements too. Like, I know like the first time it was fine for me, but now that I've played it so many times,
a couple of them are decent.
A couple of them are,
the farm
but
near Sanctuary is just a nice little small contained quest, and I think the Grey Garden one with the super mutants is nice as well. But in general, like by and large, they are just too generic.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the I think some of the don't get mad at me, Sarge.
Oh no, I'm so
don't get mad
already.
At me. In Nuka World, where you have to establish raider outposts in the Commonwealth.
Okay, now that's one where I can see why people don't like it, but as established through everything I've said so far, I don't like following rules and I enjoy killing people. So obviously I quite enjoy those.
It's not the I don't enjoy like being a raider part, because I do enjoy that. Like I love my drug den settlement, but I don't like that I have to go back to the Commonwealth and convert several settlements to like raider outposts.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that goes back to like the settlement system in general being too like hard integrated into aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Because like that seemed just like, especially since it was towards the end of the Nuka World stuff, like it seems like it was just extra padding that you didn't.
It does slow down the momentum a fair bit.
Yeah. It felt like the freaking Shadow Wars and Shadow of War.
Oh, is that a segue?
It could be. Are you playing Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War?
I have been, yeah.
Oh, frick. All right. Nice. I didn't even see that. All right.
Brilliant.
Let's get into first, let's say, I'm sorry, people who are going to comment that I couldn't think of words today. I've been the worst. But also, what is some bad quests and how would you fix them or how would you improve them in the Fallout series? Please leave a comment. Maybe it'll be a comment of the cast.
I'm gonna shamelessly plug as well that I fixed a whole Kellogg quest thing in Fallout 4.
Oh, yes.
Rewriting reunions is one of the videos I'm proudest of.
And you should see it. You can go directly to Sarge's channel, and it'll be on his homepage.
Yeah.
because
I rewrote Fallout 4 to save Kellogg. That's my main featured video.
Yeah,
it's
it
almost
is.
like I've got a crush on him or something.
Yep. Kellogg needed some extra love, and Sarge did that.
Yep.
In a writing sense, maybe more than that. I don't know. Sarge, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Middle-earth: Shadow of War.
Weird.
Segue complete. Now, with you just saying about like the whole Shadow Wars and how it's like needless padding and stuff, people might think, "Oh, sounds like a bad game." Middle-earth: Shadow of War.
It was.
Is in my top 10 games of all time.
It was until the crap got removed.
Yeah, they got rid of like a lot of the monetization stuff, and now it's just a glorious tribute to the Nemesis system and how brilliant it is. Because it is amazing. Like, the actual main story stuff is all fine, it's enjoyable. I've done a lot of story stuff, and they are fun missions, but where the game shines is the Nemesis system. You kill an orc, maybe they come back, and they remember how you killed them. Then they kill you, they get stronger, you gotta go fight them again. Oh no, they had a blood brother who was recruited by you, now that blood brother has betrayed you because you're going to kill their blood brother. It's brilliant. It's a great system. The fight pits I have so much fun with. It's just really fun. It's a brilliant game. And here's the kicker. Here's how you know a game is really good. It's in third person, but it's still in my top 10 list.
This is true.
Oh my god. Sarge is playing a third-person game.
I can't believe it.
It truly is brilliant.
It,
like, anyone listening, if you've not played Middle-earth: Shadow of War, I'd recommend trying it out. It is on Game Pass, which is where I've been playing it, because I've been playing it on my Xbox. It does mean I don't have the DLC, which is a bit of a shame, because the like additional tribes, like the Slaughter tribe and the other tribe I can't remember the name of, are quite fun additions. Just because it adds more stuff to the Nemesis system. And I even considered buying them, because I figured they'd only be a couple of quid each, but they're like £10, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too much to pay
Monetization.
for them. They are very small DLCs. But the game itself is brilliant. And well worth the standard cost.
Well, good.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing is Fallout 4 Pipe Permadeath. Pipe weapons only, Fallout 4 survival mode, permadeath. What could go wrong?
I saw what went wrong.
Yeah. So episode 1, I went through Concord, got myself starting to get geared out. I was like, I'm gonna head to Drumlin Diner, because I obviously know about like the suppressor that's on a pipe bolt action. I was like, I'll get that before I end the episode. I hide up on top of like a little billboard, and a glowing one with their ghouls shows up at the very start of the game on survival mode difficulty.
Yep.
The glowing one gotta take at least 100 bullets to the head before it's willing to go down.
Yeah.
So I ended the first episode still stuck up on the billboard, trying to just wait out the glowing one.
The
That
glowing
didn't
one,
work.
when they do their burst thing, does that heal them too?
I don't know if it heals them. It definitely reanimates dead ghouls.
Oh.
I know
Which,
it
yeah.
heals. It does heal other ghouls too, but I don't know if it heals them.
Yep. I'm not certain about that. I know I was able to chip down its health. I feel like its health got to about halfway before I just legged it and ran. And dealt with Drumlin Diner. There was actually like multiple events that happened while I was at the billboard, but the glowing one just killed everything that showed up.
Yeah.
It was like, no matter how many raiders appeared, no matter how many times Trash and Carla got up, the glowing one was just like, oh yeah, I'm about 10 times your
Yeah.
level.
See how
Smack,
useless she is?
die.
You should kill her immediately.
She couldn't die, though. She was immortal and still losing. The glowing one was so ridiculously strong. Ridiculous. But it's fine, because I escaped from it. Then I had the sell menu bug out and sell the wrong items,
Oh.
which is, not very helpful. But I managed that. I went to the Starlight Drive-In. I shot a bunch of mole rats. I survived that. It was all okay. I was like, cool, I'll go to the workshop. I'll probably build a bed and like get things set up. I know there's a mine in one of the two buildings.
Yep.
Beep, 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 beep. Why is the mine not in one of the two buildings? Boom.
Is that
It
the end of
wasn't
the
even-
run?
It wasn't even 15 minutes into the recording of the second episode where I died and the run ended.
Dang.
If you are someone who enjoys like the Pipcast and hearing me waffle and stuff, though, you should check out that series because it's less than an hour now. The second episode, only about 10 minutes is the actual game. Then I start just like chatting and being like, "Oh, here's a fun thing. Oh, well, here's what I'm thinking about today. Oh, look, it's my face. Oh, look, here's Patreon wallpapers. Oh, look, Jared and Crazy Eyed Eddie have started a podcast called The Babbling Bros. Do you want to talk about that?"
Nice.
Very cool. And I do appreciate that.
It's alright. Do you want to talk about Babbling Bros? Because
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, sure. Why the heck not? I'll add that in as something that I'm working on, I suppose.
Yeah, do it.
So yeah, me and Crazy Eyed Eddie that was mostly Crazy Eyed Eddie's brainchild, believe it or not. We have our own little podcast that we are doing currently. We release it on Wednesday mornings at like 5 a.m. Pacific, I think. I screwed it up last time and I forgot what time it was, so I just went in and made it public at like 1 in the morning on a Thursday, and I'm like, I don't remember what day it was supposed to come out. I'm just gonna release it. Which fairly demonstrates the just sort of chaotic nature of the podcast. Like we literally just talk about random stuff. Like one moment we're talking about like holodecks and the Matrix, and then the next moment we're talking about, you know, what superpower do you want? You know, it's just like it's all over the place, but it's fun though. You know, it's just two friends talking about things that interest them.
Yeah.
We be blabbing.
Yeah.
And we be bros.
Blabbing bros.
So yeah, I don't know.
That's nice.
I could probably give you a link if you wanted to throw that in there somewhere.
Yes.
I can fish that.
It's linked in the description after Jared gives it to me.
Yes. From the future.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm not sure if that's actually how that works, but whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as games that I'm playing, all that I've been doing, especially since I was tested positive with COVID and was stuck at home for about 2 weeks, I've just been playing Skyrim, and more importantly, I've been modding the crap out of that game.
Oh my god!
I literally have, and I will bring it up.
You fixed your game, did you?
Oh,
I
fixed it, my dude. I fixed it so hard. I was gonna open up there it is. I currently, because I wanted to get an accurate count, I currently have 401 mods installed.
Oh my god.
Now, mind you, that's not like, there's a cap of like 255 like master ESP mods. This probably makes no sense to anyone, but you can have like thousands of light mods, as they call them. So I think I only have like 120 out of the 250 total that you can get before the game just doesn't work anymore. It literally just dies. Yeah. But yeah, it looks great. It plays great.
You can play Pokemon and Dark Souls in it now?
No. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't go for the silly mods. Like, I try to keep everything as immersive as possible.
Whoa!
Go buy that merch, y'all.
Macho Man Randy Savage is always immersive.
Gosh,
I will not hear anything different.
Hey man, you got to live your best life however you see fit. No man, I mean, does mine look as good as some of the videos that I see on YouTube? Heck no. You know, I'm cranking out about as much as my little 3060 Ti can do. And I'm happy with it. It looks great. It plays great. It almost feels like an entirely different game, but still Skyrim. Because awesome. I try to keep everything quote unquote lore friendly in my mind world of what lore friendly means to me when it comes to Skyrim.
Nothing too crazy over the top sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out there with lightsabers and you know, an AK-47 or anything like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that's literally all I've been doing, which is funny. Like, I almost have more fun modding it than playing it, but I do play it. I'm not one of those that just mods it and then never plays it. Like, I'm actually playing it.
That's good.
But there's a certain satisfaction from, like, you see a cool mod and you're like, oh, I want to try that. And then you download it and it works. You're like, oh, that's cool. It's working. Everything's working great. You might run around the game a little bit, see something that's not right. You're like, oh, what's up with that? Try to look up what's causing that. What's it conflicting with? Figure out how to fix it. And then you freaking fix it. And then everything works great again. You're like, I'm a freaking genius. It's so cool. I'm making this stuff work. I mean, it quite literally is a constant, never-ending battle of, like, downloading cool stuff, finding stuff that's not working, finding out how to fix it, and then rinse and repeating that. But it's fun to do it for me. I don't know why. It just does.
An extra sense of control, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. It's almost like I'm creating this new world in a way, based upon my own imagination, or I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just fun.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I've been doing.
Like, there's enough player created content out there for you to be like, I want it to look like this.
Pretty much. There's a lot of, like, I've seen a lot of mods and stuff that try to make the game feel like Elden Ring. A lot of third person mods, which, like, I have to agree with Sarge when it comes to, like, Elder Scrolls especially, or Fallout. I'm all about first person, so I'm not really too big on the third person mods. But they are cool.
I see how it is. I understand.
They
I get
are
it.
cool. They're
Sure.
they're impressive though. That some
Sure.
of these
All right.
people.
Cool.
Hey, you
Fine.
know what? Calm down. Third person's not immersive.
No, it's cool. I'm cool.
Third
I'm
person's
good.
not immersive.
I don't like it when my eyeballs are over my shoulder.
Yeah.
It puts me on edge.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
fine.
all. That's all
Cool.
I got.
It's fine.
Hey, you know what? If you know so much better, then what have you been up to, Caedo?
That's very kind of you to ask, Jared. And it wasn't prompted at all. Like, I'm just grateful you care. Like, and you want to ask me about
I do care.
what I've been doing. So, well, a first-person game that I played for a little bit with Kite, who surprisingly suggested it. We played a little Halloween Dying Light. And I, up until Halloween, basically, Kite wasn't really into the idea of playing Dying Light. Because of I think primarily because of the, like, climbing up to really, really high heights and just the stress that induces if you're playing that game. Even if you're fine with heights, like, it does a very good job of being like, oh, you're up really high, and it kind of like not turns the camera. What's the when you kind of lean to the side, what's the name of that? Like camera movement?
Panning it?
Like pitching maybe?
Pitching?
It like pitches you to the left and right. I think that's the right thing to say.
I don't know.
But anyway, when you're really high up, it's acting as if you're getting affected by the wind when you're so up high too. So it's kind of like it kind of like wants to throw you off your balance as well. It's just, yeah. If you haven't played Dying Light and experienced the hardcore ridiculousness of that game, you got to climb up real high in some spots. And it's intense. But anyway, to my surprise, we played it for a little bit, and we might make it like just a Halloween thing that we do, because, like, you know, fighting zombies on Halloween is fun, and Dying Light is also fun. So yeah, there was that. I also pushed myself to make probably the last Oblivion guide I'll do for a while, or forever. I don't know which. Because the last one on my list was the Shadow Banished Wines, but meh. Like, I made a map and marked them, but I think that's about all I'm gonna do. Because, like, I did I already did one where I did like a full walkthrough of some dungeons with the alien statue guide. And I think I'm good. I think those are a little bit more valuable and important than the wine too. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be more popular no matter what. So instead, I did a quick Black Soul Gems guide, which will be up, well, yesterday when this gets published, but Saturday morning. And it's like less than 4 minutes, I think. Like, it's one of my shortest guides I've done in a long time. But it's mainly just going over the 4 locations of the Necromancer Shrines, what you need to do to make a Black Soul Gem. Do either of you guys remember the whole process?
I do not.
Nope.
Cool. Then there's going to be a guide for that. Or there is a guide for that. So, yeah. But then after that point, I put up a poll asking about like what people would like to see next when it comes to a Let's Play, because I'm getting that feeling again. Like I want to be complacent until Starfield comes out.
What? That's a terrible idea. But no.
So I've been playing around with a playthrough idea. I've been playing Kenshi too, but you know, I've geeked out about that game so much. Fallout 3. Let's see. I wrote down like what I'm going to save for the intro of the playthrough, because I now have an idea. I got to test it with some of my patrons just hanging out. My initial idea was to do something that Miniature Nerd already did 2 years ago, which was his worst courier playthrough, which had him set all of his attributes to 1 with console commands for the beginning of the game. But he was a little more lenient on like using skill books, I believe, to up attributes and stuff like that, or up skills and things. Whereas I am not, and I'm also adding a random factor to it. So instead of having all of my special attributes set to 1, also the B-roll. Hey, the B-roll, you're seeing me do it.
Oh.
By the way, the B-roll for the podcast is going to be me doing it. Why am I explaining it right now? Basically, I'm going to set one of the attributes to 10, like when I step out of Vault 101, after that initial level up, and then every subsequent level up, I will be rolling again to see what attribute gets set to 10 instead, and then removing the 10 from the previous one. So I'm just going to be moving the 10s around, basically, like each level up. So I think that'll be fun. I'm going to be rolling for what skills I add points to as well. So the build is going to be a mess. And during the test, it was fun. It was very fun. I have never played a character with a lockpick skill under 25. And I got their lockpick up to like 16, which is useless still, basically.
Yep.
And it was still fun trying to find ways to work around things, like just like munching on a bunch of chems and wearing the right equipment to try and get certain things. But I have high hopes for this playthrough. I just need help coming up with a name for what to call it, because it's definitely not the worst Vault Dweller. It's instead a Vault Dweller that has sporadic skill sets. But that
Max Madness?
Min-max madness?
It's the best I can come up with.
I may use that one.
It's difficult with weird challenge rules.
It is, isn't it?
Like, yeah, so often I'm like, what's the most simplest way I can do this? I get recommended a lot of like challenge run ideas, and it's like 7 steps, and I'm just like instantly no.
Yeah, what'll I call it?
Like something simple. Yeah.
And what's the name of this challenge? Pray tell. Yeah. I was asking Kite for some help coming up with a name too. But that's basically what I've been doing. So commenters, if you have suggestions for what I should call the playthrough, it's not going to be ready for a little bit. Like, I'm probably going to be waiting for that poll for like a week or so, and then maybe start recording. Oh, and I was talking about before we started recording that I have a Fallout 3 DPI setting on my mouse now, so I can actually use it in the menus without it like zipping across the screen just by moving a mouse a little bit, because the acceleration is busted in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Anyway,
Good job,
so
man.
I did that too. That was fun. It was like one of the probably the least amount of setup bullcrap that I had to do to get Fallout 3 to run right, which was nice.
I guess it's kind of considered an old game now, isn't it?
It's retro at this
Is
point.
it retro now? God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's only you old people who play games from that long ago.
No, Fallout's special. It's old at young people.
It's the bridge.
I won't believe anything else. Okay. Well, I think that's it. If you want to check out Jared's podcast, if you're not tired of this format, maybe even more nonsense, Jared and Eddie's podcast is linked in the description. Add that to your like watch later or whatever. Look forward to the Fallout 3 playthrough. Check out Sarge's ridiculous amount of playthroughs that he's doing all at once.
Hey, 7 videos a week is like perfectly fine. I see no problem. I can do this forever. I'm not dying.
No, Sarge. And also give him money.
Yes.
But until the next PIPCAST 3000, 2 weeks, 10 a.m. Pacific on Sunday, we will catch you next time. Be safe. Goodbye.